What's up, guys? Stuck home, can't tour. Had a lot of people asking about slide guitar and asking me to show them how to do stuff, so I figured I'd do a video since I got nothing better to do. So today we're going to cover open G tuning. I got my National resonator guitar. I'm running it through an orange amp to give it a little bit of drive, not much. But the tuning we're going to use today is open G, and it goes like this: D, G, D, G, B, and D. Now, I like this tuning because it's got this extra D note in there, which kind of adds a little versatility, and you can kind of go down to that when you're playing your G chord, which starts here. Kind of gives you that lower note to go to, which I like. Used in a lot of blues tunings, you'll hear lots of songs. Once you start using it, it'll open up your world. You'll hear all kinds of stuff that standard tuning just doesn't fit for. But anyway, so that's a G chord. We're going to start with that. G major. The other thing for slide is you're going to want big strings on your guitar because we want a lot of tension. We don't want the strings to bend under the slide. The less flexibility the strings have, the better. You don't want them hitting frets because you're going to get fret noise, and it's going to take away that smooth sound, which is what we want. So you want big strings. I'm using a 58 through a 16. My bottom string is a 16. I usually buy a set of 12s or 13s, and I replace the bottom string with a 16 to get that extra tension. Depends on the tuning I'm in. If I'm in low C or anything like that, or if I'm playing the resonator, I almost always have a 16 on the bottom. With the electric stuff, if I'm going to be in D and I'm going to be, playing regular notes too, I might stick with a set of 13s. It really depends. But the heavier the strings is always better with slide because, like I said, you want lots of tension. You want the strings to stay above the frets. You're going to also want your action set up kind of high. A lot of guys will set up one guitar for playing normal and then another guitar for slide. I like to find a balance between the two because I like to use the same guitar and kind of go back and forth. So what I'll do is I'll find a happy medium between high action and low action that I can play normal notes on and then also play slide too. For starting out, I would say have a guitar devoted to slide that's easy to play, high action, big strings that you're not going to do anything else on. And then once you've learned how to play slide on that, then get a little more experimental and try to find maybe a happy medium between the two. But the other thing is, when we play, we're going to have obviously an open major chord, and we want to play on top of the frets. When you play on top of the fret, you're going to get a more accurate note. If you go in between the frets, it's going to be flat, it's going to be sharp, it's going to sound weird. And part of mastering slide is being able to get those notes where they're supposed to be. That's the hard part, really. Also, muting is a big thing with slide because you don't always want all of the notes to be ringing when you're playing. Sometimes you want the other notes to be quiet. Now that's really the hardest part of playing slide. I still suck at it. I'm not very good at it. I fake it really well though. But what I do is I use a mixture of dragging a finger behind the slide, and then I use this hand to kind of palm mute the strings that I don't want. Now, an easy way to do this is obviously to use your fingers and just mute all the strings. That works. I play with my fingers and with slide a lot, so I have kind of two different techniques for that. When I'm using a pick, I kind of, more use this hand than anything. And what I'm doing there is I'm using basically this part of my hand and kind of laying it across the strings. And as I'm playing, I'm kind of rocking my hand back and forth to mute certain strings. Most of the time that works for me. Every once in a while I'll hit a sour note because I'll get that from muting. It's probably not the way that all the masters do it, but it's how I do it. Anyway, so palm muting is a big part. Using this hand is a little more complicated. There's one of those flat notes I talked about. But anyway, dragging a finger behind or using a finger in front of it to mute other strings that you're trying not to hear works as well. And if you can mix those two together, you'll get a pretty solid bass for muting. But anyway, so that's open G. Fairly simple. Hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, post in the comments. You can also find me on our band page, 20watttombstone.com. If you haven't, check out my band, 20 Watt Tombstone. We do a lot of slide guitar on there. But if you liked the video, if you learned something, I'll have Venmo and PayPal links in it. Throw a few bucks in there. I'm currently not able to tour, so all tips are greatly appreciated. Hope you liked the video. I'll see you again soon.